Tokyo is consistently at the top or very near the top of the list of the world's most expensive cities in which to live, which tends to be a deterrent to tourists and would-be residents. But how expensive is it really? It all depends on how you look at it. If you want to spend a lot of money in this town, it's not hard to do that. You can easily find $5,000 purses, $1,500 neckties, or wristwatches for well over $100,000. You can also pay a lot for a car, and then you have to find a place to park it. That can cost you $400 or $500 a month, and even then, the space may not be big enough. But for the vast majority, the preferred mode of transport is the train. There are literally hundreds of stations throughout Tokyo, and for about 200 yen, $2 Canadian, you can go just about anywhere. Accommodation isn't so straightforward. You'll have to pay between 2 and 6 months rent up front, and you may never get that back. But once you have paid that, for about $1,500, you should be able to get a pretty decent place in downtown Tokyo. It'll be small, but everything here is. Plus, if you're lucky, you'll get a view of the downtown and maybe your very own palm tree. Chicken tomato salad onegaishimasu. Papa onegaishimasu. With the hungry tens of millions, there'd be rioting in the streets if you couldn't get a cheap lunch in this town. So most restaurants, not just the Japanese ones, offer lunch for about $10, a 3-course meal. Dinner, though, is a different story. It's a lot richer. That's where they make their money. So in the final analysis, why does Tokyo have a reputation for being such an expensive place to live? Well, it's all relative. If you want to drive to work, eat out on a regular basis, and live in a big place, you won't have much yen left over. If, however, you live like a Japanese, you may be able to put a little aside, perhaps enough for a down payment on one of those $100,000 wristwatches. John Northcott, CBC News, Tokyo.